Hey guys, it's Jacob with Halo, and today we're going to review the Prime Series grills. Here we have the 1500, we also have an 1100 and 550, and we'll call out any feature differences between the different models as we go through the review. Okay, first feature is the roll top lid. See, it rolls back on a central pivot. You don't have to worry about this falling back down and maybe catching your arm, and you've got a lot of wide open space to get into your food. The secondary expandable rack is only available on the 1100 and 1500. However, the tuckaway is available on the 550, 1100, and 1500, allowing you a larger cook space on your primary grates. So this is the fully expanded position. You can tuck away this bottom rack inside the second slot, and then pull your front rack forward, lift up, and it will latch into the hooks. Okay, while we're talking about the grates, the 1500 and 1100 grates have a split in the middle so that they're easier to handle. The 550 has a single plate grate. So we can go ahead and take these out and hang these on the tool hooks on the side while we're cleaning or getting access to the sear plate. So now we're going to go ahead and talk about our sear plate. As you'll notice on the right hand side, we have an adjustable handle. This will open and close the sear plate. And while it looks like this actually contacts the drawer, there is a stop point here on the sear plate that actually doesn't allow it to go any farther. So you can kind of see that even here we still have a little bit of wiggle room. So as you'll notice as we move the sear plate closed and open, that the bottom plate also adjusts. This is a patent pending flare-up control plate, and this actually does a better job of dispersing the heat from the burn pot as well. So the easy way to pull this rod out is to make sure that it's in the open position, flip it up, rotate, flip it down, and then this will pop right through. You can go ahead and slide the rod all the way out and then just follow your bends to remove the adjustable rod. Okay, so for removal of the sear plate, you'll notice that there are two tabs back here that this sits on. You can just lift up off those, and there's nothing connecting the other end. It'll come straight out, and then you'll angle in first. Let that just sit down on your resting spot, and then place the back end on the tabs until it lines up and drops in. Reverse, goes back in the same way, and just follow your bends, making sure that you stay above your sear plate so that you can put it back through the hole. Rotate up, cross over the bar, and close back down. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to talk about is the controller. There are a lot of features on here. Most of these are the same as the Prime 300. However, there is the Halo Connect that applies to the 1500, 1100, and 550. We're going to go over this a little bit more in depth in another video, so we'll go ahead and move on to the hopper. Okay, so the next feature that we're going to talk about is the patent pending front hopper. The reason that we have a front hopper as opposed to a side hopper is so that you can actually mount this into built-in patios and kitchens. Opening the hopper lid, we'll take a look inside and we'll see a couple different things here. The first thing you'll notice is the split chamber. This allows you to blend multiple types of pellets due to the patented dual auger system that'll push more pellets into the burn pot per turn, increasing battery efficiency. Secondly, you'll see that we have a plate in here on each side. This plate is for our rumblers so that when you have low pellets, it will actually shuffle the pellets and vibrate the unit so that all of them feed directly into the augers. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and demonstrate this process real quick by using the prime feature. So we'll rotate around, we'll hit our prime, and you'll hear the rumblers come on. Okay, there are three different scenarios where this rumbler will turn on. When the hopper senses low pellets and you're in the middle of a cook, it will shuffle them down. If you use the prime feature and it has low pellets, it will shuffle them down. And if you use the clean out feature, it will shuffle all of the pellets through. A couple feature notes, the 550 has a 14.2 pound hopper, the 1100 has an 18.5 pound hopper, and the 1500 has a 27.5 pound hopper. Okay, the next feature we're going to talk about is the meat probes. So notice that there are 4 ports. This is on the 550, 1100, and 1500. The difference between the 3 units is the 550 comes with 1 meat probe, and the 1100 and 1500 come packaged with 2. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to talk about is our patent pending tool hooks. These tools can be used for anything from removing the grates out of the cook chamber, hanging the grates on the side, you can hang your tools on it, the sky's the limit with these. Next feature is our fold out tables that lock in place. There's a small tab here that you can pull out, and we'll move the table up. You'll hear it click, locking in, and then you can just pull that back out and fold it back down and you'll hear it click again. When you fold up and lock the table in place, you'll notice that there is an integrated handle. This is very convenient for picking these units up. They are a little bit unwieldy, so if you're not a very tall person, this will help you get it up off the ground a lot easier. So next we're gonna go ahead and show you how to remove the cook chamber from the X-Cart. And the first thing that we're gonna do is turn it around so we can show you where the legs go in. So on the back, you'll see that there are 4 removable feet that can be pulled out. And we're gonna go ahead and put those in the bottom of the unit. So you'll notice that there are 2 different sets of threads on this. This thread here is actually for the back plating, and this thread here is used when mounted as legs. Before removing the cook chamber from the X-cart, you will want to make sure that your feet are screwed in all of the way, or you could have tipping when the unit is off the cart. Okay, so to go ahead and remove this from the cart, the first thing that we're gonna do is lock our wheels in place. We'll make sure that our screws are removed from the sides of the X-cart. We're gonna fold our arms up on the tables. You'll hear it click, and then we'll use the integrated handles to remove the cook chamber from the X-cart. Okay, so now you can just move the middle up, fold it flat. Make sure your bars are locked. Grab by your integrated handles, lift up over the top of the X-cart. Set down, and then put your screws into the sides. These screws will go all the way in, and you'll feel them hit the back of the X-cart. Now that your unit is securely attached to the cart, you can go ahead and remove the feet from the bottom and return them to their previous position. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is the extra large grease container. There's a metal lid on the top. This actually comes off, and that'll prevent water from getting down in here. And this actually just connects on here on the side of the unit, sits in place. So all of your grease will drip out from the drip tray into the pan. Okay, so I went ahead and took off the back panel. As you'll notice, there are 2 screws up top, 2 screws on the side at the bottom, and then 3 on the very bottom. So this is where our battery plugs in, and then this is where our AC adapter connects as well. Also, you notice a secondary side panel here that gives you access from a different angle to the unit. We have our battery casing, so this is where your battery will slide in and slide out on the side. This is our variable RPM fan that runs the burn pot. On the back here, you'll see the patented ignition module. This is what allows us to cut the cord, and we've developed some new technology to make the battery power possible. With a high intensity spark, we can ignite pellets within 30 seconds, allowing us to get to temperature much faster. If you'll notice, all of the cables run up the sides, and those will run underneath to the hopper on the front. Okay, so the next feature is the ashtray that's down here. I've actually got this pulled out. It's in position 2 right now, and we'll go over what that means in just a second, but that way you can see it. It's normally recessed back about 3 more inches. So we've returned the ashtray to position 1, which you can see there is a bar here that snaps out similar to the locking arms. So this pulls out, and this is a snug fit, so you'll pull it, and then you notice it's stuck out. This is where we returned it in the video. When the unit is all the way engaged, this is notch 1. This should be where it's locked at. When you're pulling it out to catch all of the ash in the burn pot, this is where it should lock here. So if you don't hear that second click, don't pull it all the way out, just make sure it locks in there. As a side note, we recommend cleaning out the ashtray every single time you cook to ensure proper functionality of the grill. And so all of your ash will fall into this as it slides out. It'll drop down, and then you can slide it all the way out after pulling the locking mechanism out again. So we're gonna go ahead and slide this back in. And you'll notice to get it in, we have to pull the lock out first. Okay, so there are screws that hold this bracket in place, and there are screws for the locking mechanism as well. This should be snug, but if for some reason you have issues with it, you can loosen it to a good, convenient place and then tighten it back once you've got it in. The last few features are all integrated together. First, we have our level. This will help you make sure that your grates are level and that the folding arms are level. If they are not, you can use the crescent wrench on the heavy-duty casters and adjust each of them independently. Additionally, this is a magnetic wrench, so it can stick anywhere on the plate. Hopefully this top to bottom breakdown gives you more information with the Prime Grill series. If you have any further questions, please reach out to our sales teams or customer service.